What's up YouTube? Anything Billy here. On today's video, we're going to be putting front brakes and rotors on a 2015 Chevy Equinox. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing you want to do before you start any brake job is you want to take the brake cut reservoir off and put a rag over it. That way the air has easier way to escape when you push in the caliper pistons, and the rag's there to catch any excess brake fluid that you push out. On one of my last videos I got a comment saying that the person couldn't understand me. I'm assuming it was because of the background noise. Like I said, it's summertime here where I'm at, about 90 degrees with 100% humidity, so I'm in the building trying to get a fan on me to stay cool. So I went back to my mic. Hopefully it sounds good. I won't be able to tell until I get finished with what I'm working on. So I put the mic back on there. Let's see if you can hear me or not. So tools you'll need for this job is you'll need a 14mm socket for the caliper bolt. You'll need an 18mm socket for the caliper bolts, bracket bolt, screwdriver, pair of pliers. Now these rotors are held on by a star bit, so you will need a T30 star bit to take this little screw out there, some type of caliper compression tool, and like always, no job is complete without a hammer. So the first thing you want to do before you take anything apart is you want to try to get this bolt loose. You've seen in other videos that I normally forget that. But today, that's the first thing I'm going to try to get loose. See. Normally you give them a little peck on them and they normally come loose if they're not rusted. Yeah, see, that wasn't that bad at all. That way you just unscrew it. There it is. There ain't but one in these. Like some of them has two. This one only got one. So now you just start taking them apart. 14mm. Hopefully this don't move. Now we're good. Sometimes you might have to get you a wrench for that. Like this one here. Oh, never mind. It come loose. Might have to hold it. All right. Woo, yeah, buddy. The caliper's bad on the other side. He almost was metal to metal on this side, but we're replacing both calipers. Or we're replacing both rotors. We are replacing both rotors. I cannot talk today. Cannot talk at all. So let's see, that one gets good. See, whenever you can move them like this, there's no lubrication needed. Alright, so hopefully you won't be replacing the hardware. We go and take the screwdriver and take it off. Lay it down here. Okay. Next is the 18mm to take the bracket off. Like I've told you in the past, Chevrolet is bad about putting Loctite on their caliper bolts, caliper bracket bolts. That's why they're so hard to get off. I mean, I could possibly use battery tools or air ratchet or something, but ain't nothing wrong with using a ratchet. I like using a ratchet because you can feel. See, there's what's left of that Loctite. We do it every time. You tell these rotors never been replaced because of that. And it ain't got but 100,000 miles on it, so that's another telltale sign they've never been replaced. Come on. There we go. It's off. Here comes the rotor. Alright, so I went ahead and cleaned the rotor off camera. Make sure you line up your rotor with that star bit screw so you can stick it back on there. You just have to snug it up. You ain't got to get a He-Man tight. The only thing that's going to do is just sit there from that falling off. Alright, so after you get the screw back in, you go ahead and start putting everything back together. Start with the caliper bracket. Alright. Let's install the new hardware. Where did the other one go? There it is. Oh, Dad. Sometimes you have to hold the new hardware on until it gets seated by the brakes, which is okay. And sometimes it can be a pain in the butt. Especially if they don't stay in place. But you just have to be careful and work them in there. See? That's what I'm talking about. New hardware wants to be stubborn. go. No squeaking. So that means that the hardware is not hitting the rotor. And we want to press in the caliper. So for this, you'll have to leave one of the brake pads so you can push it in, because otherwise I just like pushing it on. This is, I can't talk, I can't lay nothing down, but guess what? I'm still doing the video. Go. All right. .14 millimeter. You just got to close the bolts up. All right, there's the passenger side. Let's move on to the driver's side. All right, so over on the driver's side, this is the one that's metal to metal. Yeah, he's grinding a lot of that off there. Then they seem surprised when I take and tell them you're going to have a rotor. Wow, that wasn't even tight. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Straighten that off. Alright, just like the other side. Same thing, take everything off, put it back on. If I have any issues, I'll stop and let you know, but otherwise, enjoy the music. Let's get started. you go. There you have the driver's side replaced. The only thing left to do is put the wheels and tires on it, take it for a test drive. Now I did have the back tires off to check those brakes. They're about 20%. The customer said he'd come back and get them later. So let's get the wheels and tires back on. Alright, so the last thing you want to do before you take it to a test drive is to put the brake reservoir cap back on there and make sure it's full of brake fluid. Alright, welcome back to another test drive. So after you get all your grease and everything off your arms and your hands, first thing you want to do is get in the car. Like always, pump up the pedal. That way when you back it out of the garage that you have brakes. Because boy, it would be bad to try to back it out with no brakes. That way you can tell how stiff the pedal is, whether you've got air in the lines or not. Then you want to start the vehicle up. Buckle up for safety. Yeah, the brakes, they feel a little spongy. And that could be because we got a little bit of air in the lines. Maybe because the back brakes needs to be replaced. So back her out of the garage, and as you back up, just pat the brakes. See, now they feel better. They feel a little smoother now. They're a little tighter. Yeah. You know, while you're in the parking lot before you get on the main road, just kind of listen for any kind of noises, squeaking. See if you feel any vibrations. So like always, when we take these things for a test drive, we are listening for any squeaks, listening for any squeals, see if we feel any vibrations, make sure the tires ain't going to fall off of it. As I hit the brakes, I can already feel some vibration in the pedal. Like I said, I think that's because the back brakes needs to be done. I always like, when I test driving these things, I always like to see if I feel any vibration in the steering wheel. But so far, this is a pretty smooth steering wheel. It's got something going on somewhere, I can't tell what it is. I mean, it could just be the road noise too. I mean, you hit the brakes, I mean, everything is as smooth as can be. It's got some noise coming from somewhere, but I don't think it's the brakes. Might be the back. Like I said, they needed to be done too, but the customer didn't want to. The customer didn't want to take the time to have. The customer didn't want to have them done today, so we've just done the front brakes and rotors for him. As I turn in on the road that the shop's on, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. If you like my videos, give me a thumbs up. Hopefully my videos are educational and somebody learns something from them. And if you want to see more of my videos of brake jobs, please subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it. And as I turn into the shop, until next time, bye now.